Hello, how are ya? Welcome. Make sure that you are in the live chat, that you are in the YouTube app. There you are. Hey. All right. I need to do this. Hey, Nettie. Some way I have to. Forgot how they told me to make you a moderator. How's everybody doing? It's 4:30 in the morning. It's 4:30 in the morning, and yeah, this is pretty cool. Settings, share. How's that weather going for you, Nettie girl? There's my girl. Hey, Dav. Ooh, good. Y'all coming in here. I'm sorry I clicked a little late. Sleet in Dallas. Oh, no. So I know y'all shut down. Ooh. And y'all, as y'all can see, I'm severely sunburned. So I don't, I don't understand. All right. Oh, and FYI, if you watch my little video from the mall earlier, um, she in there sleep. She is in there sleep, and it would have been good if she's a young lady and she came looking for a place to stay temporarily while her house was being sprayed. Her family's house was being sprayed. So this is her absolute first time in a hostel, and she was looking for one of the private rooms or whatever. And she stopped to talk to me, and they were like, well, you can stay in here with her temporarily. She's in here by herself. I'm like, huh? I'm up here minding my business and I'm okay with that. She was like, oh, I'm staying in here. And she hasn't left my side. She's like, oh my God, this is so much fun. And I'm like, girl, I'm sleepy. She wants to do everything. And one good thing about it is that she's had me out here walking these hills. Y'all, when I tell you these hills in Uganda ain't no joke. I can't even imagine maybe San Francisco, just up and down, up and down. And when you come back to walk back up, it's like straight up. And I'm like, oh my God, my glutes and everything is hurting. But I'm just gonna go on ahead and dive into it. I can't believe I started off with four people actually. Like, all right, y'all, welcome, welcome, welcome. And like I said, once again, if you are not in the actual app, if you clicked on the link from Facebook, make sure that you are in the YouTube app so that you can see the live chat. And I'm still trying to figure out how to make this one a moderator. I thought I had it. Let's see. And it's giving me some stars. But anyway, I'm going to jump in about it's coming to an end. I'll be ending here soon because there's still some things going on with the border at Rwanda, and also saying money is Kidogo. Thank you everybody that contributed to my fundraiser. Yeah, okay. So I really appreciate y'all because in all actuality, this portion of my trip would not have been possible without everybody that contributed to the fundraiser. So thank you, thank you. It was a 30-day deal. It ended. I did I was $175 short of my goal, which is okay. Like I said, I'm gonna get into the ins and outs in just a second here. Okay, so for starters, is this for me? I'm gonna wait to the end and answer that question. I'm gonna get into these pros and cons. I was gonna tell y'all off the bat, but let's talk about the pros and cons. I've learned so much I mean, I've learned like, I've just learned so much, especially here in this hostel in Kampala, Uganda, which in itself is amazing. I can't even believe that I'm here. The views are amazing. So, one, the pros of this is dirt cheap travel. This is dirt cheap travel. And um, if you missed my last live, if you didn't watch it, I posted up there about how you can travel um, you're out of the country, wherever you want to go. I'm not just going to say just Africa. Africa is my thing. Africa may not be for you. Africa is definitely for me. I love Africa. I don't care how many changes my people take me through. I still love Africa. So one of the things that I wanted to share with you, and I want to get me scrolling across the bottom. One of the things that I wanted to share with y'all, this is the link that I was telling y'all about when I was telling you about dirt cheap travel. When you travel abroad, the most expensive thing that you will probably encounter is your airplane ticket. Nothing is, oh, I got the hiccups. Nothing is sponsored. I'm just doing this to help the next person out because somebody may say, hey, my budget is really little. Like me, my budget don't exist. It does not exist. It's very little. And you want to go somewhere. Well, if you're giving yourself enough time, you can use Air Affordable. And if my understanding is correct, it's owned by an African American female. And let me try the Ugandan chocolate. Okay, yeah, I gotta try the Ugandan chocolate. I'll make a mental note of that because I love chocolate. But if you decide, if it's what is this? This is almost March 1st. And if you decide, okay, in September, I will have enough vacation time, or I'll need to use my vacation time, or whatever the reason may be, and I want to go here or there. You go find your flight. You find your flight, it costs X amount of dollars, and you say, oh, I'm gonna save up my money and buy that ticket. No, if you actually check with airaffordable.com and they will walk you through the steps of what you need to do to how much you need to pay down the deposit, and then you pay for that ticket like every 2 weeks or whatever until you get it paid off. And then it must be paid off like a month before you travel. That's your ticket. You didn't have to just go pay $1,200 at one time for that airplane ticket. You just put your airplane ticket on layaway. And especially if you're traveling with a family, you know, some people had little kids, some people want, that all this stuff is doable. Like I said, nothing is impossible in this day and age. So for me, I'm already on the continent. So I took the train for the first time from Nairobi to Mombasa. It was amazing. And I saw where I could still cut some corners. So that was one of my splurges, was my train ticket. It was $30. 30 whole dollars on a 6 hour train ride from Nairobi, Kenya to Mombasa. And then I still had to take like a 2 hour shuttle. Well, it took us 2 hours. It should have took us an hour to get over to the little island portion of the beach. And I didn't want to leave. I didn't want to leave the beach, y'all. Um, so for me, I found Nairobi blew my budget. I blew my budget out the backside with Nairobi because one of the things that I did not factor in, well, I factored it in, but I didn't factor it in at a big enough amount. So when I got to Nairobi, which was kind of an add on because I knew I had to go to Nairobi to catch the train, my first train ride to get to the coast. And so when I started looking at stuff, I was like, oh, they've got this. Actually stayed in Nairobi for like 3 days. That was my first hostel. And let's just say first impressions, lasting impressions, it was okay. The facility itself was nice. I had an incident with a group of people, and I was the one that was going to have to be inconvenienced out of all this stuff. And then these people ended up checking out the next day. So I just kind of toughed it out and for 24 hours. And I was just like, I hope that don't happen too often because they just came in, their stuff was everywhere. Um, yeah, and it was just, it had potential to be like, it did rub me the wrong way, but I was just like, okay, whatever. So this facility provided, which most of them do, things for that you can do. And I already knew what I wanted to do. I wanted to go to the elephant orphanage. I wanted to see the national park. And then he said, well, we can take you to the giraffe center. And I was like, okay. And so it's going to cost $40 for this one. It's going to cost $130 for this one. And it's going to cost, we just add on 20 to that. So my transportation, picking you up off the side of the highway and taking you to the train station on Sunday. So my transportation for those few days in Nairobi cost me $200. And here's my dumb self factoring in $20 because it only cost me 500 Kenya shillings, which is roughly $5, to shuttle from Namanga to Nairobi, which was a 3-hour drive. And so this is what my mind is thinking. It only cost me like $3 to get from my home to the Namanga border, which was like almost a 2-hour drive. So I'm thinking like, okay, this is going to be this. And then when he sticker shocked me, I was mad. I was angry, but it kind of balanced out. The biggest one was the $130 for the national park. And I had the vehicle all to myself. So that was one thing. It I thought it was going to cost me $110 to get into the park. It only cost me like $43. So it almost balanced out. Almost. I still was mad about it because I was just shocked that it cost that much. So Nairobi, who wasn't on the radar, if you all remember, I was saying when I did the fundraiser video that I had that portion covered and I needed y'all help to do the other countries. And well, that transportation blew through almost half of my budget. I was like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? So I was like, okay, no worries. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out as we go. So one of the things that, that I'm not really, this is new to me, making a budget and doing this is how much this is going to cost. So that was my first error, was that transportation. So like I said, the first pro was that this was rather cheap. It was rather cheap. So when I left Mombasa, I said, you know what? I'm going to take it even one step further. I got on a bus and I took the bus, which was good because I would have had to train back to Nairobi and then I don't know if I would have had to stay another night and then catch the train to Kisumu. I took the bus straight from Mombasa to Kisumu and it took us about 16 hours, but it only cost me $18. Yeah, it cost me like $18 to ride the bus across the country. And I didn't like Kisumu. I'm sorry. So here's the con. Here's a con. Be sure that if you are doing these hostels and stuff like that, I use booking.com. So you can reach out to the facility, you can send them a message, and here most of them will say, what's your phone number so we can message you on WhatsApp? And so you contact them. So in come the lies. Now, Nairobi Hostel told me that they were, oh yeah, we're right next to the national park. And it wasn't a lie. They sit on the backside of the national park. What they did not say was, well, it's 22 kilometers to the front gate, to the main gate. And that is where your cost of transportation comes in because they lure you in by saying, oh, yeah, we are at at the national park. The national park is huge. If you're on the backside of it and I can't get in through the backside, that means we got to go around. Now, granted, there was another gate, I think it's called the East Gate or something like that, that we went into. But basically, it was almost to the main gate, and it still took us like 30 minutes to get there. So that was one thing. The hostel um, in Kisumu, I was communicating with this person, communicating. The bus took a little longer than expected. So I didn't end up getting there until like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. They canceled my reservation on booking.com. I had booked with them for like 2 days. They canceled that booking, which those few days in Kisumu only cost me $22. Okay. These are these pros, y'all. Cheapo Depot. Well, because they canceled it, I use booking all the time, so I get these discounts. He wanted like 2,000 Kenya shillings, which was $20 for one night. I only paid $22 for the whole stay there. So I said, okay, I'm gonna give you this $20 for one night and I'm out of here. There was a whole bunch of stuff that I just didn't like about it. It set way away from everything. I tried to walk up to the main road and I never made it there. For one, I was pulling them hills. For two, it was just like, where the heck is the main road? They were like back up in way off the road. So that was a con. I didn't like that. I didn't like the facility. So arriving at 5 o'clock in the morning, I was gone by 9 o'clock at night. Okay. Um, I got in there enough time to take me a nap and regroup from the bus and get up out of there. So I had the driver take me back to um, the bus station. And he shows up and he said, "Oh, I have my friends with me, and they because they want to go to town, and I'm a ride to town, take them to town and drop you off." Okay, no problem. We get to town. I said, "How much I owe you?" And he was like, "Well, Robert told no, no, we ain't talking about Robert. We talking about how much do I owe you for this trip?" And he was like, I said, "Don't play with me." I said, "This was a shared ride because once you tell them, oh, I only paid this my money. Oh, you wasn't in the car by yourself. It was a shared ride. So now I know the ropes. It's a shared ride. I'm not going to give you the same amount that I gave you to get back to your facility. I shared the ride with your two funky friends. So how much?" And he was like, "Oh, well, just give me, come on down a little bit more." You know, these people, you have to really watch them. So everybody kept saying, "Well, it's because you by yourself and you're a female." Okay, I'm not the only one. I'm not the only female by myself. So another con, don't look at me like I'm your come up because you think because I'm traveling alone, you can get over on me and that I don't know any better. So that's a direct insult to my intelligence. And so that has been an issue with the transportation and with just in general with things. They think because you're traveling by yourself, like you're stupid. Like, you don't know any better and you didn't do some research. Now, one of the saving graces is like some of the shuttle drivers was like, okay, you need to catch a tuk-tuk and it should only cost you this much to get to your destination. So let's just say from the stop in Ukunda, to get to my hostel, he said it shouldn't cost me but 50 to 100 Kenya shillings to get there. And I gave the guy 100. He took me, but trying to come to the market, they want to charge me 450 Kenya shillings just to go to the market, which was like halfway to the bus stop. And I was like, no, it doesn't work like that. So this is just a thing. So just make sure you keep in touch with your hostel people. Make sure as best you can to know some prices. Like if you come and say, ask your people, how much is it going to cost me to get a ride from this point to your facility? How far are you away from stuff? Check all this stuff out because it all factors in. Okay, next stop. I have met some pretty decent people, and of which I didn't think that was going to happen because I'm a little standoffish at times. But I met a couple of the people who delivered me the information that you are about to see up here. Let's see. And this is for anybody that wants to travel abroad, come to Kenya, come wherever. I found out from one of the young ladies at the other hostel that you can volunteer in exchange for room and board or meals or whatever. So when they kept telling me about the volunteers at the hostel at the beach, I was thinking like, okay, they going to work at some farm or some orphanage or something. They here volunteering. No, they volunteers at the hostel. They supposed to be like the marketing team or something. They got free drinks, they got free food, and they got a free bed. Real simple. I was like, oh, that's how you do it. So if there's anybody in here that's about that life and they want to get somewhere, check this website out. Like I said, I'm not sponsored by any of this stuff. And look, they said they have 100 and something different companies or whatever. In Kenya alone, they had like 84 different things that you can apply for, or a lot of them were people that own farms. They want you to come work on their farms in exchange for room and board at their country. And then what they own, most of them request that you work like 4 or 5 hours a day for maybe 5 days a week or something. Then the rest of the time is yours to do whatever you want to do. Let me just pause here really quick and say, if you are hearing me okay and seeing me okay, can y'all comment? I see there's people here. My internet connection here is kind of iffy. That was another thing. Like they said, they got really fast broadband, Wi-Fi, whatever you call it, whatever the stuff is called. But I couldn't do my tutoring. It wasn't strong enough to do my tutoring is one-on-one. Okay, thanks, Nettie. Is one-on-one video chat, and it couldn't handle it, so I lost money on that. Okay, thank you. That's one of the next things, like make sure that if you are a digital nomad, that the place's Wi-Fi is good enough to support your whatever it is you're doing. Most people just need to send emails or log in or whatever. I literally have to video chat. So I need a good, not only a good strong connection, but a kind of fast one as well. So even though there's stuff saying, okay, we shooting, we got full signal and blah blah blah. It just my students couldn't see me, and then I couldn't even answer the calls, and that kind of made me mad. Um, Also, um, I suggested to them to have a quiet space because I really, really love the one in Mombasa. Make sure that there's an area for you to talk. Like it's almost 5 o'clock in the morning here. In a way, I don't feel bad that I'm talking and everybody else is trying to sleep because most of these places, depending on where you are. Thanks, Silverback 44. I just wanted to make sure because nobody was saying anything that I wasn't, you know, not connected. And so make sure that if you are doing that, that you have good connection. Um, Make sure you stay in communication with your hostels. And, if this is someplace that you're going to return to, make sure you get that hookup so you'll know that, okay, me and this person, we're going to communicate. And I know that we have a rapport, and so this person is not going to price gouge me for transportation, for information, for anything. So one of the little guys that I met, I'm sorry, I'm supposed to say, stop saying little. One of the young men that I met there, we drove around and looked for an apartment in the area, and I did find something, and I'm not even gonna say how cheap this. I'm not supposed to say that either. I'm not even gonna say how affordable this apartment was. There's a main road, the beach is on this side, and then the main on the other side. This apartment was on the other side, which meant I could take a 15, 20-minute walk and be at the beach. If it's still available, whatever. I got to, when I get back home, really, really crank out some hours in my tutoring sessions. Um, get those connections and try to find these people. Like so many times, people say, um, I'm going here and I'm gonna hook up with people from the diaspora. Now, y'all need to hook up with some of these local people, which brings me to my next point. So my little sleeping beauty back there, she sleeps, she conked out because she just couldn't believe. She's like, this is not worth doing. Owning a hostel. People want to come and start businesses. You may already know what business you want to start. You may already, have a thing. And who's to say you can't do them both? But let me tell you about owning a hostel. This person here, he's from upstate New York. He is renting this place, okay? And we calculated, because I'm cheapo depot and I get my stuff for discount. So I paid maybe $8 a night for my stay here. And I think she said she found it on something called a GAPA or something, where she found it for $5 a night in the dorm, staying in the dorm. And I'll get to that in a second. So there's 4 bunks in our thing. The 2 doors outside of us are private bunks. They cost like 3 or 4, 5 times the amount. They cost like over $30 per night. He has converted the damn garage. He got 9 bunks in the garage. I have never seen a triple decker bunk, but they over there in the garage. So we figured that was $90 a night over there. $40, that's 130. 60, that's 190, that's like almost $200. Across the way is like 4 private rooms, and they don't even have showers and bathroom. They got to come over here and use the facility. So that's one, two, three, four at $30, another $120. That's a potential of 300 and something dollars per night. Okay. She said the rent in this area was high. That's fine, because when you factor that out for 30 days, this is potential income that you can make. We factored it somewhere into like $5,000 a month just to run a hostel. You run a hostel, it's not a hotel room. Yes, you keep the facility clean. You have your staff, the cook, she's the cleaner, she's the laundress. He has a sidekick. We got a security guard because we are secure in here. And people do not get paid like they get paid in the United States. So you're like, well, you have to pay your workers. They don't get paid like we get paid in the United States. They get paid a very basic wage, enough to survive from what I see. So that'll be another discussion on Patreon about those actual figures. So he's also his little friend across the street, they leaving. He's fixing to rent that. He's going to rent that from them. It's got 10 bedrooms. We tally that up at about 27,000 US dollars per month, because we just guesstimating based on what we paid and how many bunk beds you can get in a room, and split it and like, okay, so this many private rooms. Plus, word on the street is that those are going to go for way more money because they're going to be a little bit more upscale. If you think that you can come somewhere and find a rental house and turn it into a hostel, That is very good income. Very good income. If you think that that's something that you would want to discuss at a later date, let me know. So that led to staying in a dorm. At my first facility, it was 2 beds. I was the only one in there. I was probably the only one in the whole facility till that big group showed up. So I was okay, and I didn't really know what I was getting myself into. At the second facility, there was 8 bunk beds in the dorm. It was the international dorm. We had one, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 bunk beds. So that's 16 people in a dorm room. That was the big one. And there was like, I think one had four, and another one towards the back. I don't know how many they had. They had 4 or 8 or something like that. So that was pretty darn cool. Sister, I don't see sister in here, and Nikita, they were like, it's a whole no for them. They were like, can't you upgrade? Can't you upgrade? I'm like, that would defeat the purpose, wouldn't it? Because she wanted the price that I paid for 5 days at this in this dorm room. I paid $39 total for 5 days, y'all. I added on, I came a day early, so that was $8. And I extended 2 more days because I didn't want to stay. That was $16. So 16, 8, 24, 4, 39. We're looking at looking at like 60. That's not right. 16 and 8 is 24. We're looking at like $60, I think, for 8 days. Yes, 8 days. And it was okay. I had to tighten some folks up, but other than that, it was okay. Everybody was respectable to the next person. They were courteous. These are younger people. I really, really don't recommend it for someone over 30. The reason that I could hack it, I'm immature, and honestly, to me, it brought out the youthfulness in me. So most of these people were 30 and under, and they was rowdy. They was about that life. But once they came into the dorm, they were walking around and whispering and using their cell phone light. And they wasn't coming in flipping on lights, unlike the people from Ecuador. And it was a mixed dorm, so there was guys and girls. And it was for the most part, you just coming in there to go to sleep because they had stuff booked for every day for them to do. They would get the group together and go leave the facility and go to a restaurant out in the town to eat. That particular hostel was located by everything, 2 or 3 supermarkets, a whole bunch of restaurants, the market, like the selling stuff. You'll see it on one of them videos. It was amazing. I thought like, oh yeah, this ain't gonna work for me, but it actually did. Y'all, if you never do anything else, try staying in a hostel just one time. Just make sure it's a good one. And um, my gosh, by the time the weekend came, Friday and Saturday was party night. Let's just say, I think that I rode all the way to Kisumu, which took us like 16 hours. I was sleeping off and on because my head was bad. I let these little kids talk me into just beer pong and party central. They were having a good time. I was having a good time. And they kept saying, are you okay? You good? You okay? And I was like, I'm fine. But I look handicapped. I was kind of getting, why y'all keep checking on me? I'm checking on y'all, making sure y'all are dumbasses drinking all this alcohol and doing whatever it is y'all doing in this swimming pool out there. Y'all swimming all night long. So I found myself, I'm a little older. I found myself checking the swimming pool at night, make sure wasn't nobody at the bottom. I found myself checking the swimming pool in the day, make sure there's nobody at the bottom. Because that's what they doing. They drinking, they jumping in the pool, all night, just about all night long. So there was like one of my tutoring days that the drunks was coming in at like 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning. Like, oh, what you doing? I was like, shh, don't do that. And leaning on me because they can't stand up. So it was hilarious. And it reminded me of my younger days in the military. So it was absolutely doable. Just make sure if you try it that you get your old self on the bottom bunk. And everybody, just like I said, it surprised me. Everybody was very cordial and friendly. So there was people from Belgium, Germany, Israel, um, Ecuador, and United States, all from all over the place. So I met two little girls. I took a picture somewhere, the youngest and the oldest, me being the oldest and her being the youngest. She's only 18 years old. And the other girl, 22, one was from Belgium, the other one's from Germany. And these are the young people that actually gave me this information for Workaway if you want to go do something. And a lot of those places that you volunteer for, they will actually pay you like a minimum wage that's comparable to the area. So of course, it's not going to be, US dollars, but it's going to be enough to maintain you and have some change in your pocket while you in that area to look at some stuff. So that's an option right there. I said all of that to say we have been missing out. We have so many isms and issues and hangups. Maybe it was a little more tolerable for me because I am former military. I know, I think Silverback, Money Hotep, and Lynette Dilbert, all of those are prior military people. So y'all wouldn't have no problem, I don't think. But I think that is absolutely doable. If you've never had a military experience, then this is something like you can say, oh, let me just try this. But this is how people are moving around the world. And no, it's not just in Africa. There's a lot of videos out there of staying in a hostel over 30. Okay, so did I feel out of place? At first, when I first got there, yes, because I see all of these bikini clad kids, from what my point of view, bikini clad kids running around. And I was like, ugh, this ain't gonna work. But when I boiled down to it, I kind of sat back and observed for a little while, for a couple of days. Um, it was actually okay. And they were literally making sure. I guess they was like, what's she doing here? There was an incident where another fool showed up, and he looked like he might have been a little older as well. And he's yelling. He came through the gate yelling and screaming. So I don't know what his problem was, and bragging about how he's traveled all over the world. There would have been a time when that would have impressed me, and I was like, okay, X, Y, and Z. But this is how they doing it. They backpacking. They backpack into this place, that place, and they staying in hostels. If I had paid regular rate, let's just say, because apparently have stayed at a hostel before. I don't know if you all remember my banana farm experience, but I didn't know what a hostel was. I did see in the house that I stayed in, I had my own room and my own private shower. When I was snooping around in there, that there was some rooms with a bunch of beds in it. I didn't understand that that's dormitory living. I paid extra for that bed. So here at one of the facilities, like I said, I paid $39 for my 5 days. She wanted $40 just to stay in one of the private bungalows overnight until she found me a bottom bunk. So can you imagine? 40 times 5 is 200. $200 where I only paid $39 for 5 days. Get rid of some of your hangups and save some money and see some stuff. You can do Asia, you can do Africa. If you want to do Europe, my understanding the ones in Europe are a little more pricey. Of course they are. They probably got some in the United States. Test the waters and see how you like it. go somewhere and stay at a hostel in the United States or someplace different that you've never been before and test the waters and see how you like it. So it was amazing. I met people. They think that they taking me to the club tonight. They got another thing coming. I'm gonna conk out on their asses because I'm tired. And they talking about this club stay open all night. First of all, I don't do clubs no more. And even the little owner guy here, he said, "Oh, do you mind if I join you guys?" And they was like, "No." So everybody's like, they're going, they're going. Not me. I'm not going. I didn't come here to club. I didn't bring no club clothes. I don't even own club clothes. So I'm not going. And so if you are a really outgoing person, you have the potential to have an absolutely amazing time at some of these places. And y'all, can you see the smile on my face? I am having a ball. It's going to be coming winding down in a few days. I got to make my way home. I'll figure that out later. I think I'm going to take the bus back to Nairobi and then shuttle back down home. That's going to probably, I don't, for some reason, there's nothing that's going from Uganda to Tanzania. So um, I looked it up. I looked at it. I don't even care because I'm just like, okay. So is backpacking for me? Absolutely. I just got to get that budget thing together and it's on. So this is how I'm going to see Africa, most of it over this way at least. I'm going to backpack it. And it was an absolute amazing adventure. Now, some of the things they went scuba diving, snorkeling. So, a big deal. You find out that you have more in common with people than you think. We were literally, I was sitting on this, it's like a wooden daybed mounted to the ground. And yes, exactly. Think of it as a road march. It just, it, you know, it's backpacking because you ain't taking 20 suitcases like I came to Africa with 4 suitcases. You just got a backpack on. My backpack was not heavy to me, but these little guys that were like, "Oh, let me carry your bag." They was like, "Oh, it's heavy." No, it's like, "Give my crap back. I got this." You have the potential to do so much stuff, to see so much stuff, and find out that there are other means than the way you live. We've had some great conversations about different cultures and different things. I still look at certain people sideways. I'm not going to probably ever change with that, but I had a good time. I thoroughly enjoyed myself. And so, yes, this is something that I look forward to doing again. Y'all, because at one of those videos, I didn't even post it. I was like, I ain't never doing this again. Um, that was another con. Some of the cheap transportation, you piled up in these matatus, whatever they call them, dollars. We call them in Tanzania. You packed up, it's a minivan that seats 8. I promise you, it's 15 people in there, plus some goats and some chickens. And if you come to these foreign countries, get used to the funky armpits. It's an aphrodisiac. It's an aphrodisiac. Yeah, it's like a smell you've never smelled before. It's so putrid that it ain't even offensive. That's just what my warped brain look at it like. Don't y'all smell yourself? It's all good. I ain't even mad. This is like so weird. So that's probably one of the worst things that you have to deal with in your transportation when you use cheap transportation is the armpits, the funky donkeys. Um, when I left home, I was a little cranky and I was offended by it. I was bothered, but you get used to it. I don't even worry about it. It's just a thing, you know. Like I said, this is a learning experience where you learn that things are done differently. In the United States, and most of y'all in here from the United States, things are done differently everywhere else in the world, you know, and I'm okay with that. It's been a pleasure. It has been a very good journey. And none of it would have been possible. Well, half of it wouldn't have been possible without y'all donations. And thank you again. I have had so much fun. And I think today I'm going, in the next couple of days, I may just recuperate, recover. We've got this huge German Shepherd looking dog. I don't know. He's mixed with something because his fur is so long and thick. Me and him gonna sit out there and chill and watch the sunrise and the sunset, which is what I left off saying about us. I was sitting on the daybed minding my business, and the little girl said, "Can I join you?" And I said, "Sure." The next thing I know, it's five of us on this daybed. We bunched up in there. They like got their knees. They like to be close. And I know in this day and age, y'all thinking like 6 feet. No such animal over here. It's no 6 feet over here. And so we all bunched up on this day bed and talking, sharing our photos from our cell phone. We are collectors of pictures of the sunrise and the sunset. And so we were comparing our sunrise pictures. How cool is that? Most of my videos, I'd be like, let me show y'all the sun. I've got a thing for the sun. And so here's me, almost 54, with an 18-year-old, like maybe two 22-year-olds, and one local guy, Belgium, Germany. Oh, and France. I forgot France. He came in and we showing pictures of our pictures of sunrises. Um, who would have thunk it? Like, what? And I actually enjoyed it. So I recommend that everybody try this. And as you can hear, Gustavo, he be on it. Ain't nobody getting past him. Yes. So yes, that's it in a nutshell, y'all. Yes, I will do it again. Yes, I look forward to doing it again. It was such a learning experience. I mean, I learned so much stuff, like how these people getting around, how to do it, how to get paid, possibly paid to do it, and just a whole bunch of stuff. So I am starting up a Patreon. I don't know how to use it, work it, whatever. But some of this information, you're going to need to be a member of my Patreon team. Things that I will hopefully need in the future. I'm going to need somebody that can design me something because I noticed on a lot of these videos, I was seeing certain things. I need merch. I need to reward you if you do support me on Patreon at a certain tier, that I would be able to gift you something. And just I this was an enlightening experience. The ideas were coming, the information was coming. And so, like I said, as I get the information, yes, I want to share it with you. You will figure it out. Yes, I will figure it out because there's stuff to be done, to be said, to support myself, to move around Africa. I want to see y'all. I want to see some of y'all and experience this. Um, like I said, this young lady, she's like 30. She probably kill me. She's 30 years old and an attorney, but she's not actively working. And she is like, um, she never stayed in a hostel. She didn't know what the deal was. She was looking for a private room. She was, and then when she was like, and then I met you. And she told him, I'm staying in here with her. So don't knock it until you try it. What am I show? Yes, show us. I'm gonna show y'all. I'm looking for you. I'm gonna tell you the truth. I'm looking for you, Money Hotel. I'm looking for you, Nettie Dilbert. I'm looking for you, Deborah. Find my niche. All of y'all, I want y'all to come and experience this. And if you say, well, I want to go this to this destination. Like maybe you want to go to South America. Fine. Get start looking for stuff that y'all can go to and get to easily access. I read a thing. People, I know things are kind of crazy in the United States, and apparently something is going on over there. I'm over here in Africa minding my business. You understand? I'm at peace. Kind of sort of like we went to the restaurants, we went to the mall. Check out that little cute little video from the mall. Yeah, the mall here was just so nice. The movie theater, food court, it's like 3 stories, but it looks like it's like 6 stories because their floors are like really, really tall. And we stayed at the mall all day long, just chilling. It did sky open up and it poured down raining. Um, and that then walk back. The boda here's are out of control. Like they swarm down on you. We are trying to exercise. We exercising. She didn't have me walking up and down these hills multiple times a day. And I told her last night, we went back to the Mexican restaurant. My Cheerios running out. I gotta stop and take a break. But we have been doing at least 10,000 steps every day. Um, Money Hotep, that's what I said, is some wickedness going on. I see, and the boy came and asked me, so I said, what the hell are you asking me for? Um, he was like, well, Joe Biden, I don't know shit about Joe Biden. I live in Africa. Don't ask, don't tell. That's not my business. Okay. I'm over here. We ain't hardly doing 6 feet. We hardly got these masks on. We free to come and go as we please, and we over here minding our business. Ain't got nothing to do with us, okay? Real simple. And I think I got out just in time to do my thug thistle over here and be at peace. So I want y'all to be looking for something else. I want y'all to find y'all another place to go to. Because some folks ain't right in the mind. Like, y'all, can't we all just get along? Hell no. But anyway, that's that. Um, yeah. Any questions? Anybody have anything for me? Like I said, yes, this was an adventure, and yes, I would plan to do it again. Now I got to pace myself and regroup and do all that stuff. I got to move in the future, and it's going down. But I'm just recommending that y'all come over here and see some stuff. I gave you the information on how to get your airplane ticket and pay on it. Where to go? Right here. Right here. I'm sharing the information. This is like just shareable information with y'all. Um, this place you can pay on your airplane ticket because as it used to be when you, especially if you've ever dealt with a travel agent, they say you can pay on this trip, but you got to pay this big chunk of money up front because that's your airline ticket. You have to pay all your cash for your airline ticket. And so that was the biggest thing that has stopped most people. Like, I ain't got $900 to give you to put down for no trip or this. And they explained to me that, oh, that's the cost of your airline ticket. And then so my last person, she was like, well, I got this hookup and you can actually pay on it. So I had to go, I was talking to my team over here. I had to go back to like 2018 or something, 2017, 2018 in my emails to find it. And I looked it up and made sure it is still open. It is still up and running. Thank goodness, even through, because a lot of places went out of business during this, whatever is going on with y'all. But it's still up and running. You can still go through them and pay on your airline ticket, pay on your trip, go somewhere, see something, see the world. And I was fortunate enough to be an over the road truck driver. I've been to every state in the United States except for Alaska. So practice in your own backyard and then go see something. My personal opinion, quit running to Cancun, quit running to Cozumel, quit running to just easy peasy stuff. Go see something else in Mexico. You got Mexico City. You got another city that these girls talk about that I never even heard of. You got Belize, Costa Rica. You can go to Colombia at your own risk. I still don't trust it, but yeah, you got these all these places that you can go see and in the world and then make your way over to this other side over here. We got Africa, we got Africa, we got Africa. You got Asia, me personally, I'm trying to conquer Africa. So this has put me at 6 countries. Rwanda would have put me at 7, but I'm at 6 countries out of 54 countries on the continent. I have been to 6. And if you would have asked me about this 10, 15 years ago, I wouldn't have saw it in my future because I would have thought there is no way I can afford to go to Africa. It's all the way on the other side of the world. But look at me, y'all. Here I am. No, I wasn't rich. No, I wasn't wealthy. I made a decent income as a truck driver. But some of y'all is some heavy hitters and y'all got way more money than me. What y'all waiting for is over here waiting for y'all. And those of y'all that don't make trucker income, because some truckers do very well, and some truckers, you beginners, y'all don't do so good, but you give it time, you will get there. 3 bank accounts or more. One for your everyday living, one for your travel expense, and one for your down the road retirement, your early retirement. That 401k, I bank with a brokerage firm. They got money market accounts, they got stocks, and they got IRAs, Roth IRAs that you can invest your money to. I am not a financial person. I know nothing about finances. For a fee, my bank will help you out. But when I call and ask simple questions, they say you can do this on your own, but if you want us to do it, it's going to cost you. All you have to do is this, this, this. And I was like, okay, you just told me what to do. So why the hell am I going to pay you? Let me go do this right here. And so got some stocks, had me some stocks, and got me some Roth IRA way many years ago. Just different stuff that you can do, and it does not take a whole lot of, um, you know, don't have to break the bank. And she said, NASA, Africa first. Okay, Africa first. That's my philosophy. And then I'm thinking of like, where am I going next? I know it's probably going to be South Asia, Southeast. I want to hit Guam, Fiji, Tahiti. What's the other one? I do want to see the water over there. It's Phuket, I think it is. Not Phuket, not Phuket. It's not Phuket, it's Phuket. And where there's a beach, there will be me, and not just any kind of beach, because they got some crappy beaches in West Africa, but they've got some beautiful beaches also. Cape Verde, Senegal. I don't really fool with the Gambia, but I will set foot on their soil and let them know that I was there. Um, yeah, just so much to do. So much. 54 countries. It's doable. All right. So yes. Any questions? Yes, just make the first step forward. Once you make that first step forward, this is the person y'all want to, check her out. Podcast. She's on social media. She's here on YouTube. She's got a podcast. This person is giving tips, and this was my enlightenment. This was right, and I told her, like, but yeah, you have to understand one thing about this person right here. I've been looking up to her for over 30 years when I first met her. Because when I say she's smart, I like smart people. And I knew once she opened her mouth, I was like, oh, this one right here, she got some gray matter up there. Like sometimes stupidity rubs me the wrong way, but I try to love everybody. Peace and love. But get with her, just listen. You can listen to her. Click on the button. Um, there's podcasts. She has a podcast out there. It won't cost you a thing to listen to these podcasts and what the content that's in this podcast. Then you're going to say, okay, I need her services, or I need this other person's services. I need something. This is what we need to be doing right here, right now. We need to be establishing our place in this world and society because enough is enough. We are missing out. I'm telling y'all, Smart Money Chick TV. That's here on YouTube, right? Smart Money Chick TV, because I got her over there, and I got, like I said, she's got a website. She's got yeah, Grown Women, Growing Wealth podcast. And when you go to her website, give me the link for the website. You can go there and you have options to listen to her podcast on several different platforms. I listen to it on Podbean. I started off listening to it on Spotify. And yeah, you can listen to it anywhere. And I promise you, the ideas and my brain started spinning. It was like, okay, they said what? Let me. I got 100 ideas just listening where I have been sitting dormant. Find you somebody. Start right here with this one. And once you start with one, you just make that first step forward. And it's like saying, one time I was like, I need a word. I took the Bible and I just cracked it open, and it was the exact word that I needed. Go see her, and she's got like 60, 70 podcasts. You can go all the way back to the very first, and it's layman's terms. It's not something that you're going to be sitting up there uptight and bored. Yes, there may be some things that you don't understand. Like, I didn't know what an SEO was. And I'm like, what are they talking about? I had to look it up, and then I was like, oh, I actually need to use that, or oh, I use that, because people need to search for me and find me. So you need to be using keywords and doing all this stuff. I don't care if you glue toothpicks together. If you glue toothpicks together and that's your hustle, put your name on it and get on here and sell them, because somebody gonna buy it. Somebody will buy it. Do you know something about a specific thing? You can do consultations in that area. You can say, "Oh, I'm a housekeeper. Okay, well, I need you to teach these other people how to be proper housekeepers. You're a housekeeper now, but you can own either the housekeeping company, or you can tell somebody how to be a proper housekeeper. It's nothing in this world that we do that is not marketable. Everything you do is marketable. Everything. And then you can say, okay, well, I'm coming over here to Africa, and I'm gonna take my business my little toothpick business that I started in the US, and I'm gonna go sit it over here in Africa. And then I'm gonna rent this big house out, and then I'm gonna rent them rooms out and split it up and do whatever. It's stuff. And why am I talking trash? Because I need to learn how to be successful at these things. I have great ideas. I don't have the financial sources, but that's okay, because what's for you will be for you. What's meant to be will be. There, like I said, there are all sorts of people. I'm going to say it again today. What are they called? The investors that go around and invest in people's business, the big chunks of money, could be little chunks of money, doesn't matter. I plan to do that. That's what I'm going to do. That's where I'm going to get to in life before I leave this earthly plane. I'm going to be going around looking for people's stuff that I can invest my funds into. Because y'all invested in me, I'm going to invest in somebody else, because I'm going to be successful. And I got a list of things to get me there. Okay. You don't have to just focus on one thing. One thing is really great, until you might need to focus. You might need to look at 10 things before you find the actual one that's your passion and that you're great at. Don't be above it. Don't just sit there dormant. There are even so for those of you that sit up and watch YouTube all day, you can get paid to watch YouTube videos. You know why I can't do it? Because Tanzania has a block. Because I went and signed up for it. I said, I watch videos all day long. You can get paid to watch YouTube videos. That's something you do all day long anyway. You can turn that video on, walk away, and come back. You just got paid to watch that video. I don't know if they ask you questions at the end of like, did you really watch it? Who cares? You can get paid to read books. You can get paid to edit the books that somebody just wrote. Make sure there's no typographical errors or anything in it. There is so much stuff that you can do. Yes. So these are things I would look for websites and groundwork. It's gonna be over on Patreon. Because I'm coming for mine. I don't know who else is hungry as I am. I'm coming for mine. And this backpacking trip just gave me the fuel that I need because this is what I want to do. This is where I want to be. And I want to be able to either host or explain or share and sponsor people, your kids. If you feel like your time is missed, then your time, maybe it is. Because if you a negative Nelly, stay the hell away from me. I don't want no parts of it. If you got more excuses than Carter got pills, stay away from me. I don't need that negative energy. But if your kids coming up, they just finished in college, they're about to go to college. I spoke to another person here who from Germany, I think it is. They coming to Uganda doing semesters at the university here in Uganda. All we ever hear is that Africans trying to get abroad because they don't even understand what they have right at their fingertips. So your kids, they need to see about doing an exchange program and coming over here and doing a damn semester in a foreign country. All these people trying to get to the United States. Well, people are coming into here from Europe to do semesters at university. We don't even know about that over there. We thinking like, oh yeah, feed the children, and they trying to get to the U.S. Um, Light bulb, y'all ain't all that no more. People are going elsewhere. They're going other places, and there's something other than the United States. I'm just saying, it's something other than the United States. So if you got kids that's in university or kids that's about to go to university or ones that's under 30 and they need something to do, send them to that website, work away, get them and send them somewhere and let them see how other people in other parts of the world are living. I promise you, it will be a life-changing experience. You said, don't come here. Absolutely. You ain't got to worry about me. I'm not. I'm not. So yes, you just need to we need to spread our wings. Spread your wings and fly away. Okay. I'm just saying. So maybe this was my purpose to show you that as somebody put it, I'm a picture perfect of how to do shit with no money or something. It wasn't exactly said like that, but y'all know I cuss a little bit, but it was said something. At first I was like, what? You know, what you saying to me? But you absolutely right. So now I'm gonna show the next person that you don't need to be a trillionaire to make moves, to make money moves. You start with two pennies. Once you start with two pennies and you find another one on the ground and another one, after a while you got 100 pennies and that's a whole dollar. You better ask somebody. And one becomes 10, 10 becomes 100, 100 becomes 1,000. You get me? Keep it going. Keep it going. All right, y'all. So that's that. The next go round, I will have figured out my Patreon and the whole 9 yards. There is a survey, but I haven't hit the launch button yet to see what kind of information y'all actually want to go over on my Patreon page. And I'm excited about that too, because to me, I'm not even monetized on YouTube. Can't seem to get to that 1,000. Okay, they'll come. It'll come whenever, but I'm making steps. I'm making steps, and I see me, um, you know, going to the next level, going to the next level. At first, I couldn't see it. Now I see it, and I wanted to give up. I wanted to throw up the towel. I want to give up because I got so many videos to edit. I'm like, forget this. All right, good night. I'm winding it down. I'm fixing to close it out. I hope y'all got some good information out of this. And I look forward to bringing y'all some more. I've got several videos sitting in the queue waiting for y'all to entertain y'all with. And by the time we do the next live, I will be home thinking of where to next. The other side, maybe Namibia, Botswana, and Angola. That keeps popping up, and they keep popping up together. So that may be the next three, and I don't know when, but whenever. Real soon, soon come. All right, y'all. If that's it, thank y'all for coming. Thank y'all for supporting me. Thanks to all those that donated to the fundraiser. And yes, get with Smart Money Chick, Grown Women, Growing Wealth. You can find her. One of these days, I'm going to be real good and I'm going to have these links prepared already. Okay. And yes, so it's gonna be fun. We going places. Me and my crew, we going places. And y'all, my crew, my water lilies, we are going places. Good night. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Karibu sana and asante sana. See y'all the next time. Good night, good night, good night.